Did Picasso steal the Mona Lisa? When the Mona Lisa was stolen in 1911, the world was just getting introduced to the painting. But when speculation that Picasso was the mastermind behind it was leaked, the world was in shock.
Begins on Tuesday, August the 22nd, 1911. That morning, French artist Louis Barrault arrived at the Louvre with the intention of painting a copy of the Mona Lisa. The Louvre was happy to entertain artists in this way, so long as the copies of any work were not made the same size as the original. Unfortunately for Barrault, when he entered the Salon Car, there was an empty space where the Mona Lisa should have hung. Barrault queried a nearby security guard, asking where the painting was. The guard assumed
Details about the incident. On August 21, 1911, the Mona Lisa was stolen from Paris's Louvre Museum. It was a Monday, the museum was closed and security was minimal, and the thief had reportedly spent the weekend plotting the heist while hiding in one of the museum's closets. At the time, security at the Louvre was abysmal. There were less than 150 security personnel in charge of guarding 250,000 artifacts, and none of the paintings were bolted to the walls. The Mona Lisa, for example, hung from 4 measly hooks. According to Ian Schenk at Artsy, months before the heist, one French reporter had spent the night in a Louvre sarcophagus to expose the museum's paltry surveillance. After the painting's disappearance, France's borders were effectively closed, with officials examining every vehicle crossing the country's eastern border. Media coverage of the heist spread across the globe, turning the little-known painting into a household name. The Paris Journal offered 50,000 francs for the painting's return. Soon, a tip from an art thief would cause police to turn their attention toward one of the country's most promising young artists, Pablo Picasso. Picasso, who had moved to Paris a decade earlier, lived with a gaggle of bohemians dubbed La Bande de Picasso. Among this crew was the poet and writer Guillaume Apollinaire, whose former secretary was Honoré-Joseph Jerry Pirette, a Belgian man of questionable morals. Shortly after the Mona Lisa was stolen, Pirette, lured by the possibility of a cash reward, stepped into the Paris Journal's office and claimed that he had lifted art from the Louvre before and had given the works to friends. Pirette was telling the truth. In 1907, he had stolen at least 2 Iberian sculptures made in the 3rd or 4th century BCE and sold them to Picasso, who paid him 50 francs per piece. Picasso used these artifacts to inspire his work Les Demoiselles d'Avignon. According to Nick Maffei at the Daily Beast, Pirette also stole a similar piece from the Louvre in 1911 and placed it on Apollinaire's mantle. The police read about Pirette's exploits with great interest. They believed that the people who were in possession of these sculptures might also have the Mona Lisa. And they didn't have much trouble piecing together who, exactly, the thief's friends were. Realizing that they were in deep trouble, Picasso and Apollinaire packed the Iberian sculptures into a suitcase and ran off in the middle of the night with plans of throwing the artworks into the River Seine. But when the 2 artists reached the water, they could not will themselves to dump the statues. Instead, Apollinaire visited the Paris Journal the next morning, deposited the statues, and demanded that the newspaper give him anonymity. The newspaper agreed, until the authorities stepped in. Within days of Apollinaire's visit to the newspaper, the police had detained him. In early September, Picasso was ordered to appear before a magistrate. When asked if he knew Apollinaire, the terrified painter lied. "I have never seen this man," he replied. Recalling the events, Picasso said, "I saw Guillaume's expression changed. The blood ebbed from his face. I am still ashamed." As the proceedings continued, Picasso wept. Although both men were indeed in possession of stolen art, the judge determined that the situation had nothing to do with the Mona Lisa's disappearance and decided to throw the case out. 2 years later, both men would be cleared of any possible connection to the crime when police discovered the painting had been stolen by Vincenzo Peruggia, an Italian artist who had been working at the Louvre. So the conclusion of this video is Picasso stole the painting or not? The answer is no, Pablo Picasso did not steal the Mona Lisa. The Mona Lisa, painted by Leonardo da Vinci, is one of the most famous and valuable artworks in the world. It has been housed in the Louvre Museum in Paris, France, for centuries and has never been stolen by Picasso or anyone else. However, there was a famous theft of the Mona Lisa in 1911 when an Italian handyman named Vincenzo Peruggia stole the painting from the Louvre. It was missing for over 2 years before it was recovered and returned to the museum in 1913. Pablo Picasso was not involved in this theft in any way. Recovery of the painting. The Mona Lisa was recovered in December 1913 when Peruggia attempted to sell it to an art dealer in Florence, Italy. The dealer, suspicious of the authenticity of the painting, contacted the authorities, leading to Peruggia's arrest. Returned to the Louvre, after its recovery, the Mona Lisa was returned to the Louvre Museum in Paris, where it remains today. The theft actually increased the painting's fame and made it even more iconic. Vincenzo Peruggia was convicted of the theft and served a brief prison sentence. The incident added to the Mona Lisa's mystique and solidified its status as one of the most famous and valuable paintings in the world. While the theft of the Mona Lisa is a well-documented event, there is no connection between this theft and the renowned artist Pablo Picasso. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked the video. Please make sure like, share and subscribe this channel.